got great weather, as we normally do this time of year in Florida, and it's really exciting. I'm extraordinarily excited about the season coming up. We've done, we didn't do much till December, and you were all asking what we were going to do. Well, I think we surprised you in January a lot of items, and we may not be done. And more importantly, the team energized. There's a vibe around here. I was all over the fields yesterday. I just spoke to all the players. There's a lot of excitement. We have a lot of new additions. Not only do we have a Cy Young Award winner in the dugout, we have a batting champ in the dugout, and we're really excited how the lineup's going to look offensively. We're excited about, we had increased attendance last year. We're going to have more increased attendance this year. We're hosting the WBC. I'd like all those Marlins fans to come out to see the WBC. We're sold out of a lot of the games already. And it's just going to be a great year for the Miami Marlins. We want to win. I just heard Skip's message about a winning culture and what a winning culture is. He comes from a team that had 16 years in a row being in the playoffs. After an exhaustive search, we have a manager who has that, bringing that winning culture to us with extraordinary leadership skills, and we're really excited about that. He's brought in new coaches, obviously with a great pitching staff. Mel Stottlemyre was kept, junior, of course. And we're real excited about our pitching. We're excited about our arms that aren't going to be in the big leagues this year. And we got to score more runs. We know that. We understand that. That's why all those changes were made off season. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
What did you tell the team in terms of expectations that you expect?
My expectation is to be in the playoffs. I mean, why do you do this? There's no other reason to do this other than be in the playoffs and take it all the way. We have the pitching to do that. Nobody wants to face our staff in a short series. Nobody's going to want to face our staff in a short series.
Bruce, do you think you guys did enough considering, again, I know you focus on your team, but when you look at the division you're in, 3 teams that made the playoffs last year that also made improvements, do you think you guys did enough to be able to compete in the division and have that chance to make the playoffs?
I think we can compete with anybody. I think we have the second highest payroll in the history of the Miami Marlins. I believe we had the 4th percentage increase in payroll. I'm not going to talk about other teams, but we want to take every incremental dollar of attendance and put that right into the team. And it's about baseball at the end of the day. It's not about profits. It's about baseball. We want to win, and we're going to work hard to win. I've been doing this about 6 years. I went to playoffs 1 year with no fans there. It wasn't fun. I want to go to the playoffs with fans screaming in attendance like they're going to be doing at the WBC. There's no other reason to do this. And everybody in that room wants to win. Everybody wants to win.
How hands-on were you versus running into or telling him, hey, whatever you need?
We have a system called Sonar, and I hate to tell you how many hours I spent looking at, which great system analyzes attributes beyond anyone's imagination. It all comes from our analytics department, and we have a good analytics department. We have a good front office, and very hands-on. Not just a rubber stamp of approval. Lots of conversations. I don't claim to be an expert, but I know we have experts in there. And if we don't have experts in there, we're going to make sure we have the experts. So whether it's analytics, whether it's coaching, whether it's the 3 assistant general managers we have, these are people who've been around baseball. That's what they do for their career, just like you report on baseball and sports for your career. So very hands-on, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was exciting to do it, and all ownerships are going to rely on the management they hire
Bruce,
at the end.
You touched on it with 3 GMs, 3 assistant GMs, a few consultants that were on board now to be able to help them out. How much do you think there could be a trickle-down effect on stuff that, again, everyone focuses on the payroll, but things happening in the front office and things on that aspect can help with?
I mean, as you know, I brought back Jeff Conine as a consultant, won a couple of rings. He knows what winning is all about. Recently, we added a couple of people on Kim's staff, Terry Collins and Wallace. They certainly know about winning is. And some of the younger guys need a little bit of that gray hair to help them navigate the process. And I think we just got a great staff, and I'm really excited. And more than anything else, the coaches are going to work with the front office, majors and minors. It's got to be one seamless function. It's got to be a seamless function. You can't teach hitting in the minor leagues differently than you do in the major leagues. If you're pitching, if you're Mel Stottlemyre, you got to make sure the pitching skills that you've taught our staff is the same pitching skills you bring to single A, double A, and triple A, right down to the FCL. I mean, and even you go to the Dominican. I mean, it's extraordinary what we've done there. We put We have the state-of-the-art Dominican facility with 2 teams. We're the envy. We're going to be able to sign players who might have looked at our facility in the past and not come here. Now they're willing to come here. We're putting, I don't know if the Jupiter, if you don't have any pictures on Jupiter anywhere, but our expansion in Jupiter, this facility is not going to be here next year. It's going to be knocked down. And the Cardinals, and we're putting a pile of money into making a better player environment here. I don't care about the officers. I care about the players. Make an environment for them to train and to excel and get 110% of what they're capable of.
Bruce, is there anything for the television deal, Valley broadcasting the Marlins games on television?
Yeah, the television situation with Bally is certainly not a surprise to me or the Miami Marlins organization. We saw this coming, and it'll get through it. We have a deal just signed 2 years ago, so our deal's in place. We have our regional sports network is very profitable. As you may know, you get 6 teams. You get it everywhere. We have a growing state. We've got to get these people to come, not watch the games on TV, but show up at the ballpark. And at the same time, should there be a hiccup, as Rob Manfred said, baseball is committed to putting these games on directly through the local cable company or even the MLB network. So I don't think it's an issue at all.
You are spending more money, but still the other teams in your division are spending appreciably more. Does baseball need a cap?
We have a CBA that expires in 4 years. I think Rob Manfred, we have an economic reform committee. We have, several teams that are spending a lot of money, as you indicated, but there are more teams who are spending kind of in the pack where we are. So I think that economic reform committee will interact with all the owners, just as the media committee interacts with all the owners. In fact, I have a 12 o'clock call today. And I think the sport will continue to move forward and work with the players and try to create better partnerships with the players going forward. I don't think when I say we're not done, it's, I mean, our ears are open to everything. There's possibility for, minor league free agent signings. There is, issues with other positions on other clubs. And we've been very active in January, so we'd be foolish to rule out anything. And we haven't. The meeting just today? Oh, yeah, I spoke for about a good 15 minutes, 10, 15. I probably spoke too long. I'll even tell you the top. I spoke about ownership, and our goal is ownership. I spoke about the rule changes a little bit, embrace the rule changes. And then I gave him an anecdotal baseball story, which I won't get into, which is kind of personal. But, yeah, and Skip was great, as everybody was, as Kim was, as everyone was in that room. And there's a different vibe. I mean, if you walk around, I think you'll feel a different vibe going on as you walk the backfields.
From your perspective, how would you describe the contrast from vibe last year to vibe this year? Since you're mentioning there is a difference.
Look, it feels different, and part of it, I'm not naive. Part of it is because there's new coaches and there's a new manager. Okay, that's going to change the vibe. But and I love Donnie Mattingly. Okay, and he's been great to me. He was a great manager. There's a good relationship between Skip. He's worked very hard to develop these relationships with the players, and I think he's doing an outstanding job. And I'm hearing it not from Skip. I went to FanFest. FanFest, we had 18,000 people. I managed to maneuver my way into the clubhouse, and I heard it from players. So only judge I have. I'm not, if we win or lose, I'm a fan number one. It's going to be up to those guys on the field. So they have to have everybody's back to make this all work. They have to have a winning culture. When somebody's up there in the 9th inning and he's given the ball, they have to believe in that guy. And if it's the bottom of the 9th inning and we're at bat and somebody's at plate, you gotta believe that Soler or whoever, Jazz, is going to get that hit. If you don't believe that, then you're not going to be a good teammate. So that's the kind of organization we're going to try to continue to develop. Anybody else?
When that report came out,
Jordan gets the most questions because he writes the most articles, so he's entitled.
Yeah.
Okay.
When that report came out that you may have considered selling the team, you put out your statement. Just your reaction when something like that came out. When we talked to you, and you had that same sentiment of.
I thought that was ludicrous from the moment I heard it, and I think it's so silly and so foolish. Everything I've said for 5 years to you guys, you go back and look. I've kept all my promises. The reality is, it was absurd. I even ran into the reporter who even talked about, me selling to A-Rod at one time. I mean, And I asked him about it, and all he said to me was, well, that was A-Rod's view of the world. But nothing's changing here. Okay, if you don't like me, you're stuck with me. That's all I can tell you.